What's up, guys? It's Talia. It is currently Thursday, December the 20th. I think it's December the 20th. Let me double check. Because inquiring minds have to know. Yes, it is December the 20th. I apologize if you haven't seen me in a while. I haven't had access to my laptop, and I still technically don't. I'm filming this from my phone, which is kind of propped up and angled back a little bit. So yeah, you're getting a really flattering view of me right now. I don't have a lot of time to do this. I was wanting to do my 2019 plans the next time I came back to you, but I'm still finalizing those, and it would take me forever to get everything together. So I'm going to have to do that. I will come back to you soon and give you my 2019 plans. There's really not a whole lot to it, but there's going to be a lot of stuff to show. So I'm going to have to wait on that. So let me just go ahead and jump into this, because like I said, I don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to do this when I can get him out of the house, when I'm off work. I really ideally wanted to wait until I had my laptop back, but it's not going to be possible at the moment. And I apologize if you're shaking right now. Like I said, my phone is still sitting on the bed, but it's kind of leaned back a little bit onto something. So I believe the last time you saw me, I was getting ready to change my rotation to the Dimensions Gold Collection Southern Social. And I can tell you that I had this on my Q-Snap for a week, but I really only worked on it for a couple of days. Because something about this pattern is just, I don't know, I just can't get into stitching it. I love it, but I just can't get into stitching it. So that's where it sits at now. Really what I did, like all this darker gray that you see, I did that over here, down there, which is where the door is. These over here, I didn't do a whole lot. And if you see this off-white thread hanging down here, and it's because I was starting to stitch that where the railing is on the house. It's like the off-white color. So that's really all I got done. I didn't get a lot done on that. And then I finally got my Scarlet O'Hara needle minder on there. The next thing I think was my October start. My start for the month. Which I was doing the White Pumpkin Sampler. I apologize for the glare. White Pumpkin Sampler by Dames of the Needle. I'm not doing the quote at the top or the border. So I'm really only doing the big vase thing with the pumpkins. And I am stitching it on this 14 count Fabrics by LJ in Radioactive. I didn't start it like in the middle, so it's going to be like this. So that's what I got done on it. Just a bunch of gray, and it calls for the tricky part about this is it calls for a color called wrought iron, which I believe is a gas thread. I didn't want to do it in the specialty thread, so I did kind of my own conversion. I looked up conversions online, and there's no conversion for wrought iron. what I can take is it's a variegated thread with black and navy blue. So the only conversion you can do for wrought iron is a blended needle, maybe, of 310 and 939. I wasn't crazy about doing the idea of doing the blended needle, so I went into my stash to pick out something that I did. And I didn't want to do it in strictly 310 either, because it would be too harsh. So I went into my stash and I found the Classic Colorworks Black Coffee, which it's going to be hard to show up on here. It's a mottled, like really dark brownish gray with blacks and stuff. So it's not super harsh. And if you remember, I used black coffee when I did my ink circles piece last year. So that's that. And I had my little, I did my conversions there. What the symbol is, and what it calls for, either Wix Dye Works or gas, and then what the conversion DMC number would be. And then my little raven, sparkly raven needle minder. I enjoy that. Like, I'm finding myself going back to enjoying working on, like, Ada more. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to still be stitching on other stuff. I just find more fun enjoyment out of working on Ada. And then I think the next thing that came up in my rotation, the next thing that came up in my rotation was Spanish sampler, and dang if I didn't forget to bring the picture of what it looks like. It's a gorgeous piece. I don't think I have a picture of it. Let me double check. I do have my iPad here. I can look up my photos. The good thing about Apple is that you can take a picture on your phone and still pull it up from your iPad because it shares the photos. Go back. Yeah, I don't have a picture of it. Of course, it's upside down. I don't have a picture of it. I'm sorry. But it's from just Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I have the book of, it's 101 Best Loved Designs by Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. It's put out by Better Homes and Gardens, I think. And I pulled it out for a bit. This is done on the Queen Anne's Lace Jobelin, which I think is a Weichelt. Either Weichelt or Zweigart. Sorry, I can't ever remember. This is what it looks like now. I did all that tan and blue that you see right there. I already had this block done, and I went down and started on that. It goes down a long ways. This is only half from where it is. So this is the midway point of the length, and I mean this is the halfway point of the width too, but still. It goes down. If this is only half, it still goes down to probably about here. So it's a long motif. And I didn't really want to spend the entire time working on this one motif. So that's how much has been done right now. This is not hard to work on. It's really not. A person can only do so much satin stitch before they get sick and tired of doing satin stitch. That's all that is, a satin stitch and back stitch. it is. So, yeah. This gets worked on in bits and pieces. And, FYI, I was going to put this in my year of WIPs 2019. But then I remembered how much I can only work on it like a little bit at a time. And I'm like, there's no way in hell that I'm getting that done in 2019. So, I'll still try to work on it as much as I can. It's just not the most fun thing to work on. It's beautiful. I wish I could show you a picture of it. It's beautiful, but I can't. Then the next thing in the rotation was, I can show you what it looks like. The Brooks Spirit of Joy. I had started this when I was with my ex. I had started 2 of them. And I was going to do one for his mom and one for his aunt. And when we broke up, I kind of put it away, and I debated for a long time about whether or not I was going to actually continue doing it. And I think I'm going to at least finish the one, which I've only worked on the one after we broke up. I did not work on this part. This part was already, that's all I had done on that one. But this go round, as you can see from the hanging threads, I worked, I finished the white. Was it the white? No, I finished the pink that was over here on this part. I still had to do. And then I started working on the flower at the bottom. That's going to help any. Because this paper is shiny, so it's probably not going to show up as well. I started working on the little flower garland that she's actually got outstretched between her hands. I'll bring out the picture again. That's that little flower garland that she's holding between her hands. And then you attach the butterfly. It's her butterfly right there. You attach the butterfly on top of that. So, this part right here is the most beaded. These things right here are the most beaded. Especially where her wings are. I just didn't feel like doing any beading when I pulled this out. So I worked on the flower garland. And obviously that's just on the perforated paper that it calls for. I was off one day. Let me back up. I was off that day because a couple of weeks ago we got some snow. During the weekend, like on Sunday. Not this past Sunday, but Sunday before last. And so it was all well and good. The Sunday that called for it to actually snow, I already had the day off scheduled work. I already knew that I didn't have to work that day. Monday rolls around. We still have snow on the ground. It's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, it took probably almost a week for it to melt down. And our yard is a mud pit. It just soaks up water like a sponge and holds it there forever. But Monday had rolled around the day after it snowed. And it snowed briefly for about an hour and a half in the morning. And stopped. And so I get in my car to go out to work. And I have to back out where the way I had it parked. I had backed out, and as I was backing out, I got stuck. And the more I tried to fight it, the more I got stuck. So I had to call into work and tell them, I can't make it to work. I can't get out of my driveway. So I had an unexpected day off. But found out later they actually closed at around 5 o'clock that day, which is about 3 hours early. So I decided, what am I going to work on my day off? So I decided I wanted to put in a few stitches on Mr. Death by Cross Stitch. Don't get excited. I'm still up here. Yeah. I still have a long way to go, y'all. this is where it's at now. The last time you saw this, I only had like up here. I didn't have a lot done, and I didn't get very much done. What I'm doing is I'm doing this side of the horse, and then I'm going to go back and do that side of the horse. So, there's not much to show. There never is. I did try to do this. This fabric drives me crazy because it sheds like nobody's business. This is a MCG Textiles 32 count linen. Love the feel of this stuff. It's so drapey. I love the feel of it. Working with it, as far as the holes and whatnot, I can deal with it. It's not that bad. Yes, there are thin and thick strands, but that's linen. I love the fabric itself. Working with the fabric, not so much. It drives me crazy. Because like I said, it sheds like nobody's business. So, I thought, well, let me see if I can restart this on a different fabric. I tried to restart it. I did the 2 rows at the top, that outer border, on a 40 count. I wasn't impressed. So I'm going to keep working on this. And you see, that's 3 times. That's 3 restarts that I've done for Death by Cross Stitch, and I'm just not happy with any of them. So I guess I'm just going to suck it up and keep trying to work on this one. So, yeah. I also decided one day last week that I wanted to pull out something that I haven't worked on in a while. There's a story to this one as well. Let me show you, well, I could show you the one I'm talking about. I decided to pull out my Cloud Factory Don't Blink. This is just a black and white copy of it. It is in color. This is just a black and white one. It's by Cloud Factory. If you guys remember, I was stitching that on it's a 32 count Lugana. I think it was called Mystic by Picture This Plus. I don't remember. Anyway, it was a blue fabric. Not quite super dark navy blue. But a darker blue nonetheless. I got 1/2 of the word. I finished stitching the middle part. And stitched the word above it, which is the word even. The upper part of that word is a royal blue. It was really hard to see on that blue fabric. So, I asked my roommate, side note, we kind of mutually decided that it wasn't working. I'm not really the kind of person that he needs right now. He needs somebody that's a little bit more affectionate than I am, so I'm sorry. But we're still good friends. And I asked him, I was like, what do you think? Should I keep going? What should I do? He was like, I don't know, you can't really see the blue on there. And it's not like it's in a lot of places. So what I did was I but I restarted it on this 36 count. 36 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. You can see it's got little pieces of blue and pink in there. 36 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. And I'm doing it 2 strands over 2. Because I like coverage. Before I lose my needle. So basically, I restitched all that. In my time stitching on this pattern, I have finished stitching. There was a couple letters down here I think I still need to do. This word, even, on the blue fabric. All that on the blue fabric. And then not liking it. And then restitching it all on this this fabric here. So, and this is only on a fat eighth. So it's not going to be super big. So yeah. I'm still keeping it on the Q-snap because I still kind of want to work on it whenever I feel like it. And then the last thing, I know I do have a picture of this. The last thing, if you remember from my last update, I am working on the Jardin Prive La Pense Positive. Oops. Turning the brightness down a little bit. Jardin Prive La Pense Positive. And I think the last time you saw this, I only had down to part 3 done. And I got sick and tired of doing words. So, it's on my Q-snap. So, I'm going to take this one side off so you can see it. Apologize, it's going to be a little wrinkly. Just a little bit. This is what it looks like now. I've mostly got it done. Sorry my needle minder is in the way. This is where you saw it at last after part 3 here. I finished part 4, which is this little section right here. And then I am currently finishing up part 5. I did the bird, there's the flower stem, there's a little bit of flower garland right here. There's a table with something or other on it over here. And then you have like a little bit of a bordered thing down here. So I don't have much left to go. So that's what that looks like. This is a 16 count Aida that I dyed myself. Kind of a yellowy tan color. In case you're wondering, I'm stitching this with the DMC, suggested DMC. But I have had to change a couple of the colors strictly because I did not have them in my stash. Let me get this back on and I will show you. Okay. Sorry. For instance, this pink color, which is throughout the pattern, it's technically, it calls for, I think, 152, and I substituted that for 224, which this is 223, so the lighter pink color that you see throughout the pattern is 224, and then also this sun right here, it was supposed to be a different color, did not have that color, so I substituted it out. So yeah, but I think all the other colors that I've used are the called for DMC. So that's everything I worked on in the last couple of months. Sorry you haven't seen me. I have a little bit of haul to show. Like I said, I had wanted to do my 2019 plans, but I'm just not going to have the time to do it right now. Haul. Start out slow here. This is in no particular order at all, because I don't remember what order I got what in. Found this at a thrift store for like $1.80 or something like that. Found it at a thrift store. It was Goodwill, in case you're wondering. Pretty substantial size book. I don't want to do a flip through of this strictly because there's so much in it. If you'd like a flip through, I can show you a flip through in a separate video. Just let me know. I got of course this is I've had this for a while now. So I had gotten the November, December issue of Cross Stitch Gold. And in case you haven't seen anybody do a flip through of it, I will just show you. I'm sure somebody's done a flip through. At this point, I'm sure somebody's done a flip through. This is what all's in it. And then the other side. So that's what's in it. I need to contact them and see what's up with my subscription for next year, because I haven't received any kind of like subscription renewal or anything like that. So, and I know I bought my subscription a year ago on Amazon. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I need to contact them. And then I got, this was the October fabric that I got from Needlecraft Corner. I'm enrolled in their Baker's Dozen Picture This Plus subscription. This is I've been getting 40 count. This is obviously 40 count. Picture This Plus Ancient. Showing up pretty good. I'm getting a fat half of it, in case you forget. 40 count Picture This Plus Ancient. That was the October fabric. I don't know why I'm trying to put that back in the thing. I kept it in the package so I would remember which one came when. And then November's fabric is called Heritage, which is a kind of a sagey green color. That's showing up pretty good, actually. I'm still waiting on my December's fabric. I'm supposed to be getting two fabrics this month. The one for the one freebie, 40 count Heritage. They usually come around the 20 something, sometime in the 20s, like the last probably third of the month. I did get the freebies from them, did get the freebie patterns, but y'all don't need to hear me ramble on about the freebies that I got. Back October, mid-October, I think. Silks for You, whenever they put out a new color on their shop, they'll often offer up a hank of it for free about a week before they put it out. So I put my name into the hat. I don't normally do this because I don't win stuff. And so I put my name in the hat and I tagged Stephanie from Stitching It. And because that was what you had to do. You had to like and comment and tag somebody in it. And the next day, I'm laying in bed. The next night, actually, I'm laying in bed and looking through my phone before I fall asleep, and I see my name in all caps, saying that I won. And I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. So, long story short, I won this gorgeous hank of silk right here from Silks for You. You're not seeing that wrong. That's a very, very deep royal purple right there. And it fades into a lighter purple. This lighter royal purple. It's a gorgeous color. Like, it's gorgeous to me. And I already have plans of what I'm going to be using this for, which you will see in my 2019 plans video. So, and Stephanie won a bits bag, which is a bag of like samples of their silk. And they also sent this cute little needle minder. So that's adorable. Somewhere along the last couple of months, I also received some needle minders from Molly at the Everyday Stitcher. And just a FYI, if you're thinking, once I show these, if you're thinking of going there and ordering something, just know that she hasn't even been able to post any new minders the last couple of months, because she's just going through a lot right now, health-wise, and things are going out kind of slowly right now. So I would just, you can, by all means, you can go and follow the group, like the group, whatever. But just know that if you try to order anything, it may be a while. It could be up to 6 months before you get your order. So, just putting that out there. Got these little Jasmine and Aladdin, little arrow, and a sparkly leaf. This guy, a flower. You can see that little flower, and a cute little sparkly ladybug, purple ladybug, of course. These things like to stick together, so I'm trying to make sure they don't. Sorry. I'm having some trouble because this magnet does not want to cooperate. Okay, so here we have another leaf. Little sparkly brown thing. This is supposed to be like Mad Hatter teacup party thing. I just liked it. I thought it was fun. Thought it was pretty. And then we have a cactus. And then on this one, there's a few on here. And you have a cute little mermaid. It's really pretty. And another little blingy random shape. Bunny ear Mickey. You know, I'm not big on the Mickey Mouse or Mickey ears or anything like that. I just thought that was cute. Then the dove. Inside it says, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace, goodwill toward men." Something like that. It's just the way it said. I'm not sure that's 100% right. So, that. Don't worry, there's more. In case you can't tell, some of these are kind of big. No, it's up there at the top. Anyway, got a sparkly elephant. And a sparkly butterfly. I think that all came at once. These came separately. These next ones. The pumpkin with the little witch inside. And it's purple. Then we have the leaping angel. We have the silhouettes of Ariel and Jasmine. A genie. So y'all see the new trailer that just came out for Aladdin? People aren't so sure about it. Then we have Y'all Need Jesus and the Pinterest logo. Love my Pinterest. I was addicted to it when it first came out. I still use it though. Now we have the genie head and the meh kitty. Just lazy kitty. So that's all of those. I can finally put those on my board now. Gotta stretch my leg out. I'm getting cramped. Pick this up at the dollar store so I can keep up with my 2019 plans. I did buy a couple of patterns. I need to tell you guys another story. A lot has happened in the last couple of months. I kept thinking about the chatelaine that I was doing, the Taj Mahal. And I realized I may not be as in love with it as I was when I first bought the pattern. Which was probably a year and a half ago. At least. I don't remember. I really don't remember. It's been so long. I'm not in love with it as I was when I first bought it. So I made the decision to go ahead and sell that. So I sold the pattern. It was the printed hard copy of the pattern. Sold the pattern as well as the entire kit that I had for it. It was beads, it was threads, it was everything. And I think it still had the needles in there. Sold that on eBay. And I was pleasantly surprised. I actually just spoke to her about this the other day. I was pleasantly surprised to see that Letitia from the Crafty Curator, she actually bought my Taj Mahal chatelaine. So that chatelaine you will see in her video. It didn't come with the fabric. I didn't sell the fabric that I started it on, all that. I didn't sell that. It was just the pattern and the thread bead kit. So, knowing that I was no longer going to be working anymore on that particular chatelaine, they were having their Black Friday sale, which was actually for, I think it was like for a week or something, or 5 days, something like that. They were having their Black Friday sale. It was 20% off. So I purchased one. And this is just the cover image. This is the picture of it. Because, funny enough, the actual pattern that you get, that you purchase, it doesn't have a cover image of that particular chatelaine. But it's this one. This is the Hydrangea Autumn Fog. Because hydrangeas are my favorite flower. It's never going to be affected by personal relationships. So this is going to be my next chatelaine. I'm aiming to start it for my birthday. We'll see. I'm probably going to kit this up myself slowly. But I don't know yet. Because if I want to order it from the kit from European Cross Stitch, I would have to place my order in January to even hope to get it in March, which probably isn't going to happen. So I would pretty much need to go ahead and place my order now, which is not happening. So I'm probably just going to kit it up myself slowly and possibly start it in May, if I can. May at the latest. I would love to be able to start this for my birthday in March. And I bought one more pattern just because I kept looking at it and it kept calling to me. Me and my roommate, since I've been living here, we've watched the entire series of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, because he has them all on DVD. So I saw this pattern one day and I had to get it. I'm going to have to hold this up really closely so you can see it. This is listed as the elements from the last Airbender. But if you actually look at it, this is the opening visuals. This looks like the opening visuals of the characters wise of The Legend of Korra. Because you have Avatar Kyoshi. God, what is his name? Avatar Roku. I had to remember that his name was Roku because it's the same thing as that TV service now. Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Roku, and then Avatar Aang, and then Avatar Korra. So, I'm actually going to do this next year. You'll have to tune in to my 2019 plans to find out when. But I am going to do this next year. So, and that is from an Etsy shop called Up to Stitch. The word up, the letter 2. Sorry, the number 2. The word up, the number 2, X, and then stitch. Up to X stitch. So, that's pretty much it. I didn't want to spend too long on this video. What else? Other than that, I mean, the job is going fine. I'm starting to kind of look for something else that pays a little bit more, because I'm never going to be able to get my own place making $7.50 an hour, even $8 an hour if I get that raise. Cause I think I'm about to get a raise. Cause I've been there 90 days, over 90 days. And he was asking me about what my current pay rate was the other week. But I need to be making a certain amount of money per hour if I hope to be able to afford my own place. Even for something $500 a month, I still need to be making a certain amount of money every month. It's not that me and him just started hating each other. It's just our personalities. I'm quiet. I don't speak much. I generally keep to myself and entertain myself. I think he needs, and also I'm not very affectionate toward anybody, not just, him. I'm just the kind of personality, I'm just not an affectionate person. So we had kind of gotten into an argument, and at the end of it, it was decided that maybe I'm probably not the best person for him to be in a relationship right now. Yesterday or today or whatever it is marked 4 years that his ex-wife had just up and walked out on him, and he didn't even know what the hell happened. He's still going through trust issues. He's still pretty much... I don't want to go into too much personal stuff. But it was very traumatizing to him, and I think he needs something a little bit more than I could give at this particular time. So we're still good friends. We still I still stay with him right now. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's the only change in personal stuff. My daughter, she was going through some rough times down in Georgia, so she got moved back to North Carolina a couple weeks ago. I had nothing to do with it. She was calling everybody else but me for help. But this is just what I overheard, was that her brother, my son, he had went down and rented a U-Haul and helped bring her back. I may see her at Christmas time. I mean, I don't think we're gonna like get into a huge argument or anything like that. It's just we're just not close. I don't know I can't remember what you call it. Estranged. So, maybe I'll have to tell you guys what happened with that. Work had a Christmas party last weekend, and it was pretty fun. Played some games. I brought some little sweet potato, what I call them snowballs. It was kind of a potluck. Everybody brought their own thing. They played games. We could win prizes. And first prize was, the first thing they did was, you put your name and a number, guess, in a bowl for, it was like a jar. It had a bunch of marshmallows in it and a gift card. And you had to put in your guess of how many marshmallows that was in it. I put my guess in. I was way off. So another guy won that. The next thing they played after we ate was, what did we play? Oh yeah, it was basically like, what do you call it? Like musical chairs, but with gifts. They had about 12 gifts, little small boxes wrapped up. And we all got in a circle, and they had handed out the gifts to so many people, and played music. And while the music was playing, we were just handing off gifts. And then once the music stopped, if you had the gift in your hand, you got to unwrap a layer of it. Each gift was wrapped 6 times. So you got to wrap a layer of it. And then we did that again, started the music up, passing the gift back and forth, passing the gift around. And the music stopped. You unwrap another layer. At the end of it, it was like a box of candy and a gift with a gift card taped to the top of it. I happened to get, it was a $15, of course I can't remember, Panera Bread. I won a $15 Panera gift card, and I've never been to Panera, so that's a good way to try it. I'm gonna have to spend that money one of these days. But it was taped to a box of Lemonhead candy. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It may just get thrown away. I don't know. My roommate may want to try it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of lemon stuff. But the Panera gift card was okay. Then the next game we played, we sat down at the tables, and they played this game called Left, Right, Center. Some of you may have heard of it, some may not. You have dice, 3 dice, and each one has an L, an R, and a C, and a dot. A couple of each one, maybe on. But they each have at least that. An L, an R, a C, and a dot. And each person is given $3, or you can play this with poker chips too. Each person is given $3 bills. And you roll the dice, and if you get a dice that has an L on it, you pass that dollar to your left. If you get a dice that has an R on it, you pass that dollar to your right. A dice that has the C on it for center goes into the pot in the center of the table. And then if you get a dice that had the dot on it, then you get to keep that dollar. And it's 3 dice for $3, and if you had at least $3. So like say if you got 2 L's and a dot, you would pass 2 of your dollars over to the left, and you get to keep $1. Say you got a center, a dot, and an L. you would put $1 into the pot, $1 to the left, and then $1, and you get to keep. Say you only had $2 left, because you've passed out your money. Say you only had $2 left, or you only rolled 2 of those dice. If one of those dice has a right, has an R on it, pass one of those dollars to the right. If both those dice have an R on it, then you pass both your dollars to the right, and you're out of money. You don't roll if you don't have money to play with. And at the end of the game, the last person with money wins the pot. So I didn't win that. I think the pot ended up being $81. There was another lady that won it. I was actually kind of happy for her that she won that. Because she works hard and she's been going through some stuff. And then lastly was for the grand prize, which we had already all put our name into a bowl before when we came in. And the manager lady, she drew the first name, and if your name got drawn, you were out of the running. And the person that was out, whose name that just got drawn, they got to draw the next name. So it kept going like that, and then it kept getting on. And like, I'm surprised I didn't get out sooner. So it came down between me and another guy at the end. Finally. And so I could already tell when the guy drew the name, I could already tell it was my name. But there was a twist. They brought out the big prize, which was this huge TV. And she said, told the other guy, she's like, you can either keep this TV, or you can choose whatever it is we got back here instead. It could be more, could be less, but whichever one you want. He's like, no, I'm keeping the TV. So they brought out my prize, the runner-up prize. The big box, about like this. I unwrapped it, opened it. It was a smaller shoebox inside that was wrapped. Unwrapped it, opened it. There was another smaller gift inside. Unwrapped it, opened it, and there was an envelope. And in that envelope was a card with a $100 bill tucked into it. So I still got a $100 bill. So, and I'm actually more blessed to have won that $100 than I would have been to get this huge TV, because the $100 comes in handy to pay stuff that needs to get paid. But I was happy. I was happy. I don't normally win stuff, so I was really surprised that I got anything. And of course, the next days at work, everybody was asking me, "What'd you spend your $100 on? What'd you spend your $100 on?" And when I went in the next morning, another lady was like, "Hey, she wants to ask you for a loan." So, but it was all in fun. But I had a good time. I still have some of my sweet potato things left over. One of my best friends at work, she says that she's never been much into sweet potato stuff, but I had made her take one at the party, and she came next time she saw me when I came in, she was like, "Do you have any more of those left? Those were so good." So I took more of them to her yesterday. But yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be almost an hour for me. I need to get this uploading, so that I can get back to stitching and other stuff. I'm thinking about doing some finishing today. I need to, I want to dye a piece of fabric, or a couple pieces of fabric, for stuff. One of those pieces of fabric is actually for a project that I'm starting after Christmas, but before New Year's. If you guys remember from when I did my 2018 plans video, I am starting, one of the things I'm going to be starting, I'm going to be starting 7 projects from December 25th through December 31st. And that's actually going to be continuing through January 5th. It's the 12 days of Christmas, see. I'm starting a new project for each of the 12 days of Christmas. One of those projects I'm going to be starting, I think I'm actually going to be starting it on the 26th or the 27th, is Princess Grace's Ball Gown by Teresa Gill. And I need a piece of fabric to put that on, because I don't have a suitable piece of fabric to put that on yet. And so I need to dye something. I have the Ada that I'm going to do it on. I just need to put a little bit of a dye, a pale dye on it, not too much. But yeah, I got some plans today. I need to go ahead and get those done. So I will be back. I promise. I will be back. I might even do it on Christmas. To give you guys my 2019 plans. So, until then, I hope you guys have a blessed week. Have a Merry Christmas. If I don't see you before Christmas, maybe not. And get lots of stitching in as always, and I will see you guys later. Bye.